Well, the Parr family in many ways is like any other family, except for that superpowers part of their identities. What's interesting to me about them is they also are kind of iconic family members. Bob, the big strong father who he wants to be strong enough to take care of his family and solve all the problems. Helen is the mother who's stretched in lots of directions and trying to take care of everyone all at the same time. Violet is the quintessential adolescent. She wants to disappear and hide and keep people far away. And Dash is that super hyperactive 10-year-old. He's just wants to learn everything. He's still pushing boundaries even though he's learned that, he's starting to get those boundaries and has to obey them a little bit. And then Jack is the baby full of potential, not ready to take no for an answer. And that's something you see a lot in this film. Jack has discovered his powers while he has learned that there are some boundaries around what he can and cannot do. And Jack doesn't like those boundaries. Well, Incredibles 2 is different from The Incredibles because this time Helen is the one who's gotten the assignment outside of the home. And initially that's hard for her. She wants to be home with her kids. That's what she's been doing up to this point. But she gets the assignment that takes her out of the house, and she needs to take it because not only does she need to put food on the table, but she now is the one who has to make the world a better place, not only for everyone outside in the world, but for her kids. And it's a tough decision, but Bob is ready to take on that responsibility of watching the kids. Up to this point, he has discovered how much he loves his family, but he's never really been the one who has to stay at home with them and take on all that responsibility. So he, at first, is a little too self-assured that it's going to go okay. He's Mr. Incredible, I got this. And what he discovers, as I think all parents discover, is that parenting is a lot harder than it looks from the outside. Sam Jackson he's cool. He's Frozone. Sam is someone who adapted to the world really well. Bob didn't adapt when supers were made illegal and had to go underground, but Frozone is an adaptable fellow. I imagine he's got some business that's been very successful. He and Honey have this lovely apartment, but he also still wants to be a super. He's got a lot of good to give, and he's a really good friend to Bob. He's the person that Bob goes to in his hour of need, and he's also kind of a good uncle. When Bob needs to leave the kids, Frozone's the person that he calls. And one of the things I love about this movie is, as hard as it is for Bob and Helen to raise their kids, they have people they can go to. They're not alone. Frozone is one of those, and E is the other one. To raise children, you need help. You need, as they say, it takes a village, and E and Frozone are in that village with the Parr kids. On Incredibles, we were still inventing a lot of this technology. Simulation, hair and cloth simulation was a big leap for us on that film. But frankly, everything was hard. We hadn't animated humans in any real serious way at Pixar before Incredibles. And since then, this is our 20th film. We have learned a whole lot. The technology has caught up and the artistry has caught up. And not only has all that technology caught up, but our crews are amazing. These are people now who have either worked on this for 20 years or have come through school learning how to do this work. So I would say right now the characters look more like what we intended them to look like on the first movie. There's much more subtlety in the performance and the sculpting of those faces and the way their hair moves and their cloth moves, and that makes for more subtle and nuanced performances. I think you have everything to look forward to in this movie. After 14 years, it's bigger and better and funnier, and the action is incredible. The effects are incredible. Explosions, water, fire, it's all happening. And I'm just really excited for the world to see it because it's a magnificent undertaking.